Listen, I need y'all to know how committed I am to what is going on tonight in this class. We are going to talk the wizardly world of potions and brews. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, this class is a must watch, I guess, if you like to know, if you like to hear some DIYs, if you want to understand some different ways that we use oils, this is also a great class for you. We are going to talk DIY rollers, how to make rollerballs, how to make some room sprays, how to make some recipes. We're going to do a number of things. So if you'll just bear with me as we dive in, hopefully the costuming provided by my children's past and future Halloween costumes are not too distracting, but they said that I looked sufficiently like I belonged in the Harry Potter movie. So I'm going to give them credit for costuming. So let me jump right in and share my screen and we'll get started. I have to admit, like up front, that I am not a diehard. I'm not, I wish I could tell you that's not true, but I'm not a diehard Harry Potter person. And so I did go over it with my kids and ask them for pronunciation help. And I talked about, I looked at pronunciations. I even went and watched a few clips of the movie to see, oh yeah, right. This was a class that I had in a library of classes that I had purchased. And I was like, well, I mean, it's Halloween. People can get in the spirit. So I did look up a few of the references and make sure I understood what was going on or what was implied in it. So grin and bear it with me if you're not the thematic type. But if you are, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity for you and me to do this together. So that's my official welcome. The wizardly world of potions and brews. One thing that we haven't kind of mentioned much lately in our classes is the quality of ingredients that Young Living offers. In fact, Libby and I were just at a vendor event all weekend, and it was really neat to hear people walk by our diffusers and say, wow, when I put oils in my diffuser, it never smells like that. It never smells that good. Or they would smell our peppermint and they'd say, wow, that's not how the peppermint I buy smells. It's never that strong. And that was even when it was diluted, which brings up one of the things that we like to talk about a lot, the seed to seal commitment that Young Living has. Young Living owns its farms. No other major oil company does. And it has partner farms all over the world that abide by the same high and rigorous standards beyond organic that Young Living upholds. Organic requires only 3 years of no use of harmful pesticides or chemicals. Young Living won't plant on soil that has been in contact with any chemicals within 50 years, which if you think of time, there 50 years ago, there wasn't any of the same chemicals that there are present today. So, or at least there wasn't the major use of in the same ways that they are used today. Young Living picks the absolute best seeds from the strong, thriving plants that they grow. They hand weed all of their plants. This is not they don't weed by using chemicals to kill weeds. There's no weed killer being used. And they use the essential oils themselves back on the plants for any sort of pest control so that they can avoid those harmful chemicals. They harvest at peak times to ensure that you get the highest quality oil and the highest quality yield of oil. They distill on site. I talked about that at after my silver retreat, getting the opportunity to see the distillation process right there in front of you. And they do it right there and ensuring that they have the highest amount of naturally occurring constituents as possible without having to use any harsh chemicals or synthetic things to extract more from the plant. And they're carefully monitoring it at proper temperatures and making sure that they are keeping an eye on exactly how long each plant needs to go to get the best yield. Young Living, of course, then tests every batch multiple times and in multiple ways throughout the process, but especially prior to bottling. They have state-of-the-art equipment and on-staff scientists right there testing every batch. And of course, if it doesn't meet the standards, then they don't do it. They just don't, they won't send it out. And as far as safety and usage goes, again, these are things that are maybe you're familiar with, but if not, it's important to refresh and go over them again. Young Living oils are the best, and we can, and because we know about this quality, we can use them in 3 different ways. Some oils are hot, or so those are the ones that you're going to want to dilute. We've talked about that some in the past. You, of course, never want to drip essential oils into your ear canal or directly into your eyes. If you happen to get oils into your eyes, stay calm, apply a carrier oil. Do not use water. Water will just disperse and drive the oils further, so you're going to create a worse problem for yourself. So grab a carrier oil and just kind of smother it on your eye, and it'll quickly dissipate. When in doubt about an oil, you can dilute. We like to think low and slow. Start low on your body, on your feet, and go slow in terms of the amount and usage. So you can always use the bottom of your feet if you're not sure. Citrus oils can also cause your skin to be sensitive to the to ultraviolet rays. So you wouldn't want to go into the sun after applying citrus oils. And of course, when we use, we're going to talk about some recipes here for consuming the oils. And when we do that, we want to make sure we're using glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. We do not want to use any sort of plastics or styrofoam or anything like that. So just be sure to always keep that in mind. The 3 ways we use our oils are aromatically, that's diffusing or breathing it in, just even straight from the bottle. It is internally, and this is what is really great about Young Living and their seed to seal commitment, is that you can trust it so implicitly that you can take many of these oils internally. And of course, also topically, which we'll talk about. We're going to talk about all 3 of these ways in this class in varying degrees. So topically would be putting it actually on your skin, on your scalp, or any sort of those types of things. So first up, we're going to talk about spray away, making your own sprays. And we've talked about this in the call before. And if you're somebody who likes to screenshot, this is your chance. I'll also attempt to put some of these in the comment section on Facebook. So if you miss something, go check there. Using your own room spray is a great way to eliminate harsh chemicals found in like normal, typical room sprays or fabric sprays. Some of the chemicals that are commonly found in these products, like BHT, propylene glycol, linol, and benzaldehyde, have been found to be neurotoxins, endocrine disruptors, and irritators of the eyes and skin and lungs. So if you want to do a quick Google search for yourself, you can check out look up the dangers of commercial room sprays just in general, and you'd be surprised to see what's out there and what is actually like allowed to be sold in the store shelves. Like, I don't know why it's allowed, but essential oils are a really great alternative. And if you are in this group, it's because you have access to those oils. So they can be used in any area of your life, but it's just a really great one, a really great swap from old. So I'm talking about, have one in your bathroom, have one to spray on your clothes as perfume, have one to spray on your pillow before you go to sleep. There's just a tons of ways that you can do it. This first spray, the Obliviate Spray, is a really great one for getting rid of odors. That's why we always tell people, if you've cooked something funky or just something, there's some sort of lingering odor, purification is where you're going to want to go. So to make any of these sprays, what we're going to do is combine the essential oils with, some sort of either witch hazel is like often what we're going to use. You're going to take like a 2-ounce bottle or a 4-ounce bottle, choose your own size of bottle that you want to use. Whatever you have on hand is fine. And again, make sure it's a glass bottle. And you want to combine the essential oils with some witch hazel, and then fill the rest with water, and you've got yourself an Obliviate Spray. Again, dispel the odors from your home. The Accio Fall Spray. summon the sweet aroma of the spirit of the fall season. So if you're somebody who loves all things like scented candles, depending on the season and the mood you find yourselves in, this is cinnamon bark, nutmeg, and orange. We talked about cinnamon bark earlier this month. And these are all really great fall oils. So give these a go. Put them together. You can look at these combinations and also consider this as the potential for a diffuser blend. But this would be the opportunity to do it in a spray that you could make your bathroom smell nice, or when you've got company over. So I'm sorry, all these recipes are calling for a 4-ounce glass bottle. So you want to adjust accordingly. If you have a smaller bottle or a bigger bottle, just adjust the recipe accordingly. But these are 4-ounce bottles. So there's your fall spray. So next up, I'm going to share some rollers. So that was some aromatic uses of oils. Here are a few roller ball recipes. Mixing up your own rollers. We talked about the case for carrier oils recently. Go in the search bar and check that out if you don't remember catching that one. But mixing your own rollers is a really great way to stretch your oils and your dollars. A little goes a long way, and we know that, but it makes them last longer. It makes your oils last longer. Pick out a favorite roller recipe, and then you're going to follow this general directions. You're going to combine the essential oils with your favorite liquid carrier. V6 complex is one that Young Living makes. It's really great. Jojoba, fractionated coconut oil, almond oil, avocado oil, those kinds of things, like a really high quality carrier oil. And you can put them in, these are all calling for a 10 milliliter glass rollerball, which is it's those tall, skinny ones. Like if you ever have used one of Young Living's rollerballs, you can reuse those caps by just getting the rollerball top on and refilling it. So that's a easy 10 milliliter one to get. But you can also, these are on Amazon. You can also reuse your 5 milliliter or 15 milliliter empty bottles. So you just need a rollerball top, and Young Living sells those by the 10-pack, the filament roller bottle top. So you would want to adjust the recipe accordingly, but all of these recipes are going to be based on using a 10 milliliter roller. So first up is the Reparo roller. So in the movie of Harry Potter, Hermione, I can't ever say her name right. She uses this to fix Harry Potter's broken glasses. This would be one I think all of these rollers are really great. Especially the first two are really great to have on hand all the time, so that like anywhere that you are, it could just be tucked into your purse, in your briefcase, in your diaper bag, like whatever. But this is a really great roller ball for all things digestive, even just nausea. This would be a really good one. So this would be a really easy one. It's 10 to 15 drops of digest, 5 drops of peppermint, and fill the rest with that really good quality carrier oil that you chose. And then just rub it directly on your stomach as needed. Next up is the Nearly Headless Nick roller. Of course, Nearly Headless Nick was the ghost of Gryffindor, and he nearly got his head chopped off, but the deed did kill him. So this would be a great one to have also for that. When your head is giving you problems and you feel like you would like your head to roll off, this is what you would want to have accessible to you so that you can easily do it. So it's going to be putting 15 drops of pan away, 8 drops of peppermint, and then you can apply it to your forehead, your temples, the back of your neck. Inhale it even, just anywhere that you're feeling the pain. If it's like on the crown of your head, you could put it there. You can literally just put it where you're feeling the most pain or the most discomfort in your head. So you can see why this would be a really great one to have on hand, just like the stomach one, because when you have these issues pop up, it's nice to be prepared and just have them ready. This dragon, the dragon tamer roller, the monthly dragon that will, for women, this is Dragon Time, is a really great really great blend if you're not familiar with it, to help with hormonal issues, mood issues, discomfort around your monthly cycle. But when you're combining it with lavender, it makes it even better for calming and for muscle contraction, like calming those muscle contractions down too. So that is just 15 drops of dragon thyme, 8 drops of lavender, and fill the rest with carrier, pop that top on, and you're good to go. So I hope those are some great roller maybe there's something there that you hadn't considered, or maybe you hadn't even considered the value of having those on hand all the time, but there's some ideas if you haven't tried it yet. Everyone knows we love our diffusers. I should have had mine glowing in the background. I've got my Haven diffuser. I hope you took advantage of the sale that was available this last week, where you could get diffusers as cheap as $8. At a minimum, 2 for $20, $10. But if you only got one, it was for $15. The sale's still good through tonight. So if you're watching this on Monday, the 24th in real time, go catch you one now while the deal's still hot. So a lot of times, especially this time of year, people are reaching for those scented candles people are paying astronomical amounts of money for those candles. But, most scented candles use synthetic fragrances and dyes and give off dangerous, volatile organic compounds, commonly known as VOCs, even when they're sitting at room temperature, not even while they're burning. That's the smell that you can smell as you walk by them. Commonly emitted VOCs related to the scent in candles include formaldehyde, petroleum distillates, limonene, alcohol, and esters. These harmful chemicals can cause health problems ranging from headaches, dizziness, and allergy symptoms to asthma attacks, respiratory tract infections, and even cancer if used profusely. So let's skip those candles. One thing that I was talking to people about earlier, and check out that fall collection if you haven't done that, because I've really enjoyed just reaching and grabbing those. It's still in stock. Go grab that Jacob and Kate simplified line. But if you were to burn a candle in the same place, regularly, you could go right above the ceiling and wipe, and you'll find that you'll get soot off onto your cloth or onto your paper towel or whatever you were using. That soot doesn't just disappear. It's all over the air. It's all around you. You're breathing it in as you're burning the candle, all the things that it's burning. When the candle started, it was full and it's slowly gone down. That is all just getting into the air in scented form. And we all are aware that what we breathe in goes into our lungs through the alveoli, is part of the oxygenation process, and into our bloodstream. So diffusing is the way that you want to go. See if you can find a replacement for if you're still in love with candles, see if you can find a replacement for your candles in some form of diffuser blend. But here's a few that you might like. Nox the Nasties, of course. It's that time of year where the seasons are changing. I heard on the news just recently that the number of small children being admitted for upper respiratory things is at an RSV and all kinds of things is at a really big high in the last few weeks. And so one way that we just support our immune system and keep ourselves, doing well is by diffusing and diffusing at night while we sleep. And so Thieves and lemon, a great combination for that. So it's a good preventative, and it's also a really great combo for when you aren't feeling well and your body needs a little bit of extra support. Brave at Heart. This is who doesn't need courage before facing hard situations or doing hard things. So this diffuser combo has the secret weapon that is Valor, that we all know and love, but it drops in Copaiba, which is another one that I would tell you have on hand all the time. Copaiba is one I'm constantly reaching for. So if you haven't tried that one yet, it's really subtle in its scent and in its flavor, but it's such a good one to have for just overall body support. So that's Brave at Heart. The Quidditch World Cup. It is the football cheering season, having people over for game days. This is a really good, sweet, earthy aroma. Would be a good one to have on the couch or have diffusing while you've got people over or have company. And so if you can imagine lavender, lemongrass, geranium, spearmint, and tangerine, it's kind of a fun combination of minty and citrusy and floral and earthiness too. So go check out Quidditch World Cup. Pumpkin Pasties. You can put on, this is another great seasonal blend combo. Invite your friends over for a glass of hot chocolate or pumpkin cider or butterbeer, and diffuse this one for all of those great fall scents that you want to have in the air. And next up was potions, and we're going to talk a few about from head to toe, some things that can support your hair, your skin, your joints, and muscles with a few of these recipes. This is the Episkey Rub. And I asked my kids, I'm like, do you know what this is referencing? And nobody could come up with it instantly. So we kind of went and looked it up, and this is where Harry had a broken nose, and one of the other students did this Episkey, and it fixed. You heard a pop, and it fixed his broken nose. So you get the idea. Like, this isn't going to do that for you. We're not casting magic spells here, but it's a great way to have some muscle support after a long day, out and about, or you've been on your feet too long, or you've had a hard workout. This would be a really great one to have. So you want to take that glass container, a cup of coconut oil, 5 to 10 drops of pan-away, 2 drops of peppermint, and 3 drops of frankincense. You can whip the coconut oil with an electric mixer and scoop it into a glass container and stir in essential oils and rub onto sore muscles as needed. So one way I really love to use or think about coconut oil is to just lightly in a double boiler, melt it down a little. And once it's just starting to kind of reform, that's when I'll put the oils in. So it's not too hot, but the oils are evenly dispersed in that. And then you can just easily pull that out when you need it. So this is a good one to have on hand for massages or just overall, joint support, muscle support. Next up is the Furnunculus potion. This is for your skin. The Furnunculus is the pimple jinx. So let's get your skin mended and supported by using this mixture. It's got alcohol-free witch hazel, a glass container, 5 to 10 drops of purification, 5 to 10 drops of frankincense, and 5 to 10 drops of lavender. You pour the witch hazel into the glass container, add to a total of somewhere between 15 and 30 drops. So pick how you want to do it. Shake before each use and apply to a cotton round or a ball onto your face, both morning and night. And you can follow that up with your, clean your face, use the toner, put on your moisturizer, and you're good to go. You're supporting your skin, supporting a healthy pH of your skin, and helping with, supporting the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Next up is going to be the flu powder. Now, this is kind of a simplified version of something that we already know and love, or I use, know and love. And this specifically only calls for lavender or rosemary or cedarwood. I would say maybe use all 3, 2 drops of each. But you're going to combine arrowroot powder, or if you prefer, you could use baking soda. I prefer the arrowroot powder, but baking soda in a pinch works fine too, with some cocoa powder, and then your oil, and you're going to mix that all together. And I like to put this in from the 99-cent store, a salt and pepper shaker, and just shake it on my sheet. You can do it that way, or you can have it in a container that has a lid and open and close, and tap an old makeup brush and then paint it onto your hair that way. So really great to get that extra day post wash to make your hair last an extra day, or 3 or 4. So next up, I'm going to give you, we're going to roll into some of the recipes. Perfect for adding flavor. If you haven't noticed, the vitality oils are really great to put into teas or coffees or all kinds of things like that. But the vitality line is great for supplementation, especially this time of year when we're talking about cinnamon bark and nutmeg and clove and ginger and all these oils that we're using to bake and to put in our different recipes. You think about in baking and pumpkin pies and different vegetables and things. Think about that as you're cooking and thinking about your Thanksgiving menu that's coming up, the use of your vitality line. But we're going to talk about 2 drink recipes here. This is a healthy butterbeer smoothie. I have to admit, I haven't tried this, but it seems like a really cool idea if you're invested in, if you're going to do some sort of thematic Harry Potter thing or a Halloween party or something like that. This would be a really neat way to wow your friends with like a vegan caramel sauce alongside a healthy smoothie. I mean, who could ask for something more special or a big event for a eye-popping? Hey, you could probably add alcohol to this and make it an unhealthy one if you were wanting to have some sort of special smoothie recipe or drink recipe for your party. So don't try and write this all down. I'm not going to walk through the steps, but I'll post this into the comments so you have it if you want it. Another is a Hocus Pocus pumpkin cider, and it's pretty similar to what you might think of a normal apple cider, but the difference is adding in 3 tablespoons of canned pumpkin puree. And this is one tip I wanted to tell you if you like the idea of a pumpkin, even like doing your own pumpkin spice latte. This is something you can do at home and you can do without having to. I know often when you think about these pumpkin recipes, you're like, I don't want to open a whole can of pumpkin for like 3 tablespoons or 1 tablespoon or something like that. As a tip, one thing that you can do is open that can and put a piece of saran wrap maybe down on a cookie sheet, and then dole out your pumpkin, your canned pumpkin, in 1 tablespoon at a time. And then put another piece of saran wrap over that and drop that in your freezer, either your deep freezer, your stand-up freezer, whatever freezer you have. Drop that in your freezer. And then once it's totally frozen a day later or overnight or whatever, and take all those out and either put them in a container or put them in a Ziploc bag or something like that. And then you can use that pumpkin. All you have to do is defrost those pumpkin balls of the pumpkin puree, 1 tablespoon at a time, depending on what your recipe calls for. That's one way to kind of get some good mileage out of a can of pumpkin and not feel like you're being wasteful by just needing part of a can, or maybe you have a recipe that calls for half a can. Get those other tablespoons out and get them frozen and ready for a recipe like this or a pumpkin spice latte, and be really impressed with your ability to make your own drink and save yourself $6-7, whatever they're charging these days at Starbucks or coffee houses for those pumpkin spice lattes. Of course, if you are not getting your products through loyalty rewards, and you're missing out. That is really the best way to purchase anything with Young Living. Maybe you're watching this and you're realizing that you haven't made a purchase in recent memory, and maybe your account is coming up on going inactive. If you want to reactivate your account, in order to get that wholesale price instead of retail, you either have to spend 100 PV in one purchase, or you have to just add something to a loyalty rewards cart. And so this is to your loyalty rewards order. So this is a really great advantage, because there was a long time where in order to be a member at Young Living, you had to start with a premium starter kit. That was how it was for like the first half of how long I've been with Young Living, for 8.5 years now. I promise it's probably 6 of those 8 years where if somebody came to me and they were like, I just want a lavender, I'm like, well, you're going to pay full price unless you put in, you buy this premium starter kit. And some people weren't ready to spend that $165 as the buy-in, but now it's this really great advantage that somebody could just take that lavender that they want, put it in their loyalty order, and then they unlock that 24% discount. So that, of course, we all know that the loyalty rewards order is completely changeable. You can change it month to month. You don't have to have X number of dollars. You could just have a tube of chapstick or a tube of toothpaste in that cart month to month. And that's all that would be required to maintain that 24% off. So it's a really, plus on top of that, you're getting 10% back. If you're at the 50 PV level, you get 10% back on anything that you buy for the first 3 months. And then you're getting months 4 to 24, you're getting 20% back on anything that you buy. And then from that point of month 25 and on, you're getting 25% off back, not off, but you're getting that back as reward points that then you can use to cash in on most of what Young Living offers. I mean, not everything qualifies for loyalty rewards orders, but a lot of stuff does. So make sure that you are tapping into the loyalty rewards program, getting all the free promos that are going in month to month that you wouldn't have access to if you were just simply doing a quick order, and that you're getting those points back. So that is how you get the best deal. And that's how you let your friends get the best deal. Friends don't let friends pay full price when there's an easy way to not have to. So that's my class. Thanks for enduring my delightful 8-year-old daughter's witch hat and my son's Halloween costume for this year. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've learned something. I hope there's a recipe that you want to take away from this that will be beneficial to you, or something that you can use in your home or with your family in months ahead. All right, talk soon.